Camry. All right, it's time for Game 5 of our 7-game stretch here at the Hilton Invitational. John Morgo alongside Coach Jonathan Hemingway, ready to bring you this contest between the Madison Academy Mustangs and the Norcross Blue Devils. As this is Game 5, I guess you can call this the featured game, as the Blue Devils, the home team, get ready to take on these visiting Mustangs from Madison Academy. And Coach Hemingway, when we were talking at the end of the last game, the name you mentioned for Madison Academy, number 5, Josh Langford. Tell me, what makes him such a special player?
Langford is one of these great athletes, great size, great skill. You're going to be able to see him be able to score at the bucket, also be able to stretch the defense out with the jumper. Truly a special kid, especially in this setting here at the high school level. College coaches from all over the country have been in to see him. Coach Billy Donovan, Michigan State's Tom Izzo, head coaches from across the country recruiting this kid very, very heavily. So it's going to be a good opportunity for our viewers on the SUV TV to get a first-hand look at Langford and his talent.
Other starters, I see number 3, Miles Parker, number 25, Will Acuff, number 30, Zach Meredith, number 33, Austin Troxel. Those are the other 5 for Madison Academy. Now Norcross Blue Devils getting their introduction as PA man Harvey Snyder with the honors. Number 0 is Rayshawn Hammonds. Number 3 is Tim Cameron. He's another player that we were talking about toward the end of that game for Norcross Blue Devils.
Yeah, Tim Cameron, point guard, great handle. Has some surprising athleticism to be able to create space, with the ball in his hands. When you start talking about unsigned seniors in the state of Georgia, especially at the point guard position, Cameron's going to be at the top of that list.
Other stars for the Devils: number 4, Tyler Mormon; number 12, Dalvin White; and number 23, Jordan Goldwire for head coach Jesse McMillan and his Norcross Blue Devils. 17-3 overall, 9-1 in a very tough region, Region 7 of 6A. For Madison Academy, they are 10-10, 5-0 in their region. Their head coach, Andy Blackston. Now we're ready to go as Madison Academy, all in maroon with the gold numbers and the white trim. Norcross all in white with the dark blue, navy blue numbers. It's going to be number 5. That is Langford. He's going to tip it off against Rayshawn Hammond, 6'7", and it's Langford winning the tip. So here comes Madison Academy going right to left as you see them across your monitor. Acuff will go to the far side for Meredith. Back to Acuff, back to Meredith. Meredith looking a little undersized at 5'8". And here he is now with the basketball. 7:40 on the clock here in the first quarter, just underway. Thank you for joining us here on the SUV TV. Game 5 of our 7-game stretch here at the Hilton Invitational. They did a little crosser to Acuff. Acuff couldn't get it cleanly. I think it hit the net on the way to him, so now they got to reset the offense. Here's Langford, first time he's touched the ball since the opening tip, and he gives it up to Acuff.
Good patience right here by Madison Academy. You see Norcross coming out in this odd front zone. Coach Blackston, trying to work Langford off of some baseline screens here. They're going to be very deliberate in what they're trying to do with Langford.
Yeah, he had to pass out of a double team in the coffin corner. Now he'll take a coffin corner shot and drain it.
And right on cue, John, you can see the talent that this kid has. You got to give him a step because he can slash to the rim. He's so strong, athletic, but once again, he can hit that jumper from well beyond the arc.
Norcross trying to answer. Cameron does. So the 2 stars hit long-range jump shots, and it's 3-3. Acuff, crosser to Meredith. Very slow, very deliberate offense by the Madison Academy Mustangs.
Now, John, I was speaking to Coach Blackson before the game, and he was saying, we don't necessarily have the depth that maybe a Norcross or one of these other talents do. But what they do have is they do have a star, and they do have a system that they're going to try to implement here today.
That was Troxel who couldn't hit the jump shot. Back to the Devils. Chance to take the lead, and it rimmed out on that jump shot by Cameron. 6'3" senior And now here's Langford, who's getting pestered by number 5, Devin Huffman. Now here's Acuff. Back out to number 30, that's Meredith. Kind of like a 2-1-2 we're seeing from Madison Academy. 2 on the wings, 2 in the middle, and then Langston kind of going all over the place. Langford going all over the place. That's a long-range jump shot by Miles Parker, and it's 6-3.
Parker, just a sophomore, listed at 6'7". Good-looking stroke there from the young kid.
Now, Cameron has to dump out to Hammonds. Gets the shot off, and he's fouled. I believe that's going to be against Langford.
Hammonds is a player that has been on our radar for some time. Just a sophomore, standing at 6'7". He's going to play a lot here today in the high post, some even on the low block. He's a great rebounder. He can affect shots on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, he does have some range to be able to stretch the defense, out to the three-point arc, but primarily he's going to do most of his work slashing to the bucket from the free throw line, and as you see, getting these offensive rebounds in the paint.
And he makes both foul shots, 6-5. 5:13 to go, and the Norcross faithful have already figured out who they want to pester whenever he has the basketball. Will Acuff. I don't think Acuff's going to get rattled very much by that.
No, Acuff is actually a son of a coach. He's a son of a coach, so he is very well prepared for these type of situations.
Thought you were going to tell me he's the son of Roy Acuff, and I would have been very impressed. Meredith dumps it out, spinning his Troxel, no good. And that is a rebound by Goldwire. Goldwire with a no-look pass to Hammonds, but he's too far deep, can't do anything with it. Immediately double team, dishes it out to a cutting Goldwire, and he's fouled.
No, in fact, Will Acuff is actually the son of Lenny Acuff, who is the head coach at the University of Alabama, Huntsville. Right there in Huntsville, Alabama, where Madison Academy is located. So Lenny is very well known within the coaching circles as a great offensive mind. Runs a lot of that Princeton system, and his son, you can see him here running the point guard spot. But spoke to Coach Blackson on a number of occasions, and he said that Acuff can really shoot that basketball. So you can't let him get any space if you're Norcross, because he can definitely punish you.
Well, Acuff picked up the personal foul, allowing Goldwire to go to the line. He already missed one of them. This is to tie it up, and he drops it. Norcross with 3 foul shots and 4 opportunities, so it's 6-6, 4:47 remaining, as Troxel hands off to Acuff, who's guarded by number 12, Delvin White. Brings it across the half-court stripe, now over to the near side, and kicks it out to Langford, who's operating now on the wing. Someone you don't expect from a player listed at 6'6". Now Meredith from Duluth High School, no good. Good rebound by Huffman. Huffman in transition to Hammonds, reverse layup, good.
And again, you can see the talent that I was mentioning there with Hammonds. He's very good in transition. Great finisher on the move.
Are they going to alter? No, that's a touch foul. And it'll go against Devin Huffman, his first. Huffman, a 6'2 senior for Jesse McMillan. Again, 17-3, 9-1 in the region. They lost, I believe, their second game of the region schedule to the Collins Hill Eagles. And I just kind of glanced at their schedule. I didn't see a return leg with Collins Hill.
Nice.
Yeah, nice pass underneath. They let Miles Parker get free. He gets a layup, and it's tied at 8.
And it's exactly what Coach Blackson is looking for here, setting those baseline screens, just daring the Norcross defenders to cheat out there, and then looking for the slips to get the easy buckets along the block.
And Dalvin White cannot hit the jump shot from the foul line. Back to Madison Academy. We got 3:50 on the clock here in the first frame. We're tied at 8 here on Sports Utility Vehicle. And a touch foul on Huffman, guarding his matching number 5, Josh Langford, and that's going to be 2 on him.
Well, I'm sure Coach McMillan, in his pregame preparations, we're talking about trying to pressure, Langford as much as possible, making his life as difficult as possible in this game, make him exert a lot of energy. As you can see, they're picking him up full court and making him handle.
crosser. Oh, nice jump, nice elevation by Acuff to get that pass. And that's slapped back as Meredith draw out. And it'll be back to Madison Academy. I can't believe how high up Acuff went to get that pass. It looked like it was going in the 4th row, but he somehow climbed the proverbial ladder and pulled it down.
Yeah, good timing there by Acuff, and he's got some surprisingly long arms, standing at 6'2".
Parker off the tip to Langford with a turnaround right side. It'll drop.
Nice touch there by Langford. And you're seeing the versatility that I alluded to, before the game. He can really shoot the ball from outside, and as you mentioned, standing at 6'6", he is a legitimate wing option for Coach Blackson's team.
And that shot by Goldwire, no good, by Ricky Madison, no good. And it's going to go back to Madison. Nice dump off the Troxel from Langford. It's 12-8.
Excuse me, John, what versatility that Langford has. You see him snatch the rebound on the defensive end, take it coast to coast, and then have the presence of mind to dump it off for the assist. And here again, going to get another rebound. Langford having a great start to this game.
He is. Hammonds took that jump shot from the foul line. No good, and Norcross didn't send anyone to go after it. And there they go, throwing. Madison throws it away. Back to Norcross, 12-8, 2:30 to go here in our first quarter of action. And this is number 11 for the Devils. That's Amir Butcher, a 6'2 junior. He gets it to White. Also in, Ricky Madison, number 25, number 0, Rayshawn Hammonds. And number 3, Tim Cameron. Looks like Madison and Hammonds are trying to get on the same page as they try to run a double screen. There's a stop and pop off the pass, and that's good by Amir Butcher.
Butcher steps right into the game and knocks down the jumper. And then going to force a turnover here, Norcross is, on Langford.
Yeah, Langford couldn't handle it. Back to the Devils, down by 1 with 1:57 to go.
Well, it was a good set play there by Norcross, even though it took them a little bit of time to get it right. They set the double high screen there at the top of the key, and then set the double down stagger away that freed Butcher up to be able to knock down that 3 off the catch.
Timeout on the court by Madison Academy. They're up 12-11. We've got 1:57 remaining here in the first quarter of action. And I just want to tell you that now at Metro PCS, you can get everything you want for $40, period. Even the taxes are included. That's unlimited data, talk, and text. Now on a blazing fast nationwide 4G LTE network, and you never sign an annual contract. That's only at Metro PCS, an official sponsor of the SUV here at the Hilton Invitational. Now Madison off the inbound play, gets it to Cameron. Lobbing it to the right side, now back out to Cameron. A stop and pop, and no good. Rebound, Norcross lucky to get it going in is Hammonds, and he gets it to fall. He's got 6, and it's 13-12, so a 6-point deficit has been surmounted. Out of bounds, it will be back to Norcross. They got another turnover.
And this is where Norcross can really kind of get the snowball rolling in their favor, getting these second shots and then forcing you, into bad decisions in the backcourt.
Amir Butcher from the left wing. 6 points off of 2 3-pointers, and it's a 4-point Devil lead. Now here's number 40, Cole Tomlinson in the backcourt. Gets it Acuff, and Acuff pushes the tempo, but it's stolen right from him by Butcher. Now Norcross, there's a lane for Cameron, and a huge swat by Langford.
Good block shot there by Langford, a point-saving block shot. Once again, seeing the versatility of his game.
Here's Amir Butcher. Gets it out to White. At the top, now Cameron. Dishes, no look. Underneath Madison, couldn't get enough English to get that thing to turn on a reverse layup. 50 seconds to go. It's a 4-point Blue Devil lead, 16-12. Now Madison Academy going to be successful in getting across half court. They had 2 turnovers each of their last 2 times in the backcourt. Tomlinson with it. Let's see if Madison's going to slow it up. Got tipped by Cameron, but it comes down to Acuff. And they'll get a touch foul on Cameron, knocking down Acuff.
And I'm sure what Coach Blackson right now is going to be talking about with this team, you know, at the quarter. Is pass fakes, being more sure with the basketball. You know, these one-handed passes that you can just kind of sling around against other opponents are not going to work here tonight.
Parker will get it over to Tomlinson. As it looks like maybe Madison's going to work for the final shot with 20 seconds to go. Dishes down the post. Getting it up is Parker. Good. Very bad angle, but he gets it to drop, and he will get a conversion.
That's a big bucket right here, coming with 16 seconds left in this first quarter. If you notice kind of the ebb and flow of this game, Madison Academy jumped out and was controlling the pace. Norcross had really gotten on a run, and it looked like they were going to have the momentum going into the quarter. Now this three-point play is going to balance things out.
1 point lead is Miles Parker now with 8 points. Now Goldwire back in. Hands it off to Butcher. Butcher to number 15, that's Zach Cooks. 5 seconds. Cooks dishes on the post. Now reverse layup, no good by number 1, Octavius Gage. Pulling at the buzzer is good. I believe that was Goldwire. And Norcross, with that late basket, takes a 3-point lead, 18-15, as we're done with one here on Sports Utility Vehicles coverage of the Hilton Invitational. All right, let's see that before we take a break. Let's see that again.
Yeah, this is the last second shot, and one of the game keys for Madison Academy has to be the second shot opportunities. You see the missed reverse layup along the baseline, and it was number 11.
That was Amir Butcher.
Amir Butcher that put in that last second shot. You know, Hammonds, Butcher, some of these other guys here for Norcross have really been killing Madison Academy on the offensive glass. Another key for Coach Blackson's squad is going to be being able to handle the ball, you know, with the Norcross's pressure in the backcourt and in the front court as well.
Well, that's 8 points for Amir Butcher. He leads the Devils in scoring. Rashawn Hammonds with 6. Tim Cameron got 3. And Jordan Goldwire has 1. 18-15 is your score for Madison Academy. They're being paced by Miles Parker, who has 8 points. Joshua Langford with 5, and Austin Troxel with 2. So that is your point distribution. Start the second quarter. It's Norcross possession as Madison gets it from Butcher. Butcher wants Cooks to come up, take it over, and he does. Now Cooks looking around. He'll get it to Octavius Gage. Backs to Cooks. Now, nice one-hand shot by Madison. No good, but he gets his own rebound, spins, and good.
Once again, second chance opportunity. And that time, that's by Ricky Madison. He's a senior. Already signed his letter of intent to play at High Point University next year.
Now, ball's loose underneath. Butcher cannot get it and stay in bounds. Now, I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, High Point, that's the Big South, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I know when you get all these schools and all these conferences in the southern region of the United States, it's hard to keep them all straight, but that is the Big South. Okay.
And trust me, it's taken me some time to kind of sort it all out myself.
And with everyone changing conferences every year, that doesn't make it any easier. Here's Tomlinson. We'll get it to number 23. That's Justin Ferdinand for Madison. And here's Langford now. Langford with 5 points. Back to Tomlinson, over to Ferdinand. Isabella not in the lineup. Here's Tomlinson to the left side. That's Langford from 3. It's a little short. And they'll scrum for the loose ball. Will they alternate the possession? Another good play by Tomlinson to get it out. Now Langford with it. Langford with already a sweat-soaked jersey, and we're only 6:52 remaining until halftime. Now Langford will spin in the lane. Weak-sided it to number 43, Isaac Tillman. No good. Got it back, put it up, and was fouled.
Really like Langford's game in a lot of different ways, and you see what Coach Blackson's doing with him. He's moving him from corner to high post, letting him step out, handle some. But his vision to pass is very exceptional. You see it once again, make that wraparound pass. Even though it didn't lead to an assist, he was right there to be able to get the second chance opportunity.
He's got 6 points after that front end. 20-16, 6:44 remaining. And second one, thinks about it and drops. So he's got 7. 20-17. Here's Amir Butcher with it. Butcher with 8 points. He finds Cooks. Now into the corner for Gage. Back to Cooks, over to Madison. Madison at the top from just inside the line. Kicks out. Gage tips it to keep it alive. It'll stay with Norcross. Cooks has it swatted back.
What a block shot, John.
That was a big one. Now here comes Madison with a chance to maybe take the lead on a 3-point play, but they're going to leave it for Ferdinand, who slings it to number 10. That's Kiki Matthews. And Gage is going to get a kick on it, and it'll stay with Madison.
Madison Academy does a great job of all their players understand their roles. You know, nobody's trying to do too much. They understand that every time down, they're trying to get the ball to Langford. Now, that doesn't mean that Langford's going to take every shot because he is such a good facilitator, but he is the primary playmaker, and everybody understands that.
Well, Miles Parker again leads the team with 8 points, but he's on the bench right now. So this is Langford's team, and we'll see what number 33, Troxel, he's back in as also a secondary post player. Now he's going to run through, and he can't get the shot to go. Troxel will pick up the rebound. He slammed it on the ground, and that probably was a bad move. Norcross with an easy steal. Madison wants to take it himself. He'll get it, and he'll get the contact. A very early whistle, but he'll get it on the continuation. Foul beyond Matthews. And Madison with 4 points now. Do a conversion.
It's a common theme with Norcross teams over the years. You know, the things that beat you are when you turn the basketball over, that's going to lead to transition runouts for them. If you give them second shots, they're going to get second chance opportunities, points in the lane. And you just got to be able to control those two areas of the game if you're going to want to have a chance here. And you can see with the 5-point lead, Madison Academy not controlling those areas all that well so far.
And Madison makes the conversion. He's got 5, and it's 23-17, 5:45 remaining. Largest lead for Norcross this ball game. They're going to show a little pressure, but good passing gets Langford and gets them through it. Langford now running the point.
He can do that.
He can do that.
He's a versatile guy. You know, he might be a shooting guard or a small forward on paper, but he can do it all.
How did he do that? That reverse layup underneath the basket. 9 points for Langford. 23-19, 5:15 remaining. Now that's Goldwire. He buries the jump shot. He's got 3, and it's 25-19, back to 6. So two teams trading some baskets here. Now that's Langford with the dish to Troxel, but he shuffled his feet back to the Norcross Blue Devils.
And once again, they're going to get an offensive foul, I think, here on Langford.
Oh, they do pick it up, the offensive foul.
Yeah, they're going to call, because Langford dished it off right there to the post player, and he ran into the defender. Coach Blackston is really just kind of beside himself, like, the guy didn't even fall down.
Yeah, he didn't do what Masamba Diom did. He needs to take some lessons from him. All right, here's Madison. Let's see if Norcross can take advantage with the star on the bench. Not on that jump shot by Cooks, but that's Cameron taking advantage of the lack of post presence to get the putback. 27-19 now, lead back to 8, 4:35 remaining. Here's Tomlinson. He's eyes that 3, fouled at the last second by Goldwire.
Yeah, not a good foul there, John, by Norcross. You know, really has Madison Academy on the ropes. You think about it. Langford's just gone to the bench. You get a second chance opportunity. Now you foul a jump shooter here to keep Madison Academy in the game.
Not only that, he's got 3 chances, but he missed his first one. He's got 2 more. Second one also doesn't go, so maybe it was a good move by Jordan Goldwire to commit the foul. See if he can get one of these. You got it. Well, they'll take, out of a chance for 3, they'll take 1. So 27-20, 4:25 remaining. Cameron gets it back to Delvin White. to Madison, back to Cameron, wants to find Hammonds. Hammonds, they collapse on him. There's got to be somebody free, blocked by Troxel. And it'll go to number 3, Miles Parker. So they take out Langford, put in Parker, trying to come through on the pass in from number 40, Tomlinson, back to Norcross. Some nice passing to Madison. Count the basket. So now they're just going straight in. And that's going to go against Ferdinand, Julian Ferdinand.
This is a danger zone right here for Madison Academy. With your star on the bench, you don't really have a guy that you can just go to and give it to and expect some points.
So Jalen Ferdinand with the foul. Madison to the line, trying to get another conversion. And he gets it home, so that's 8 points now for Ricky Madison. It's a 10-point lead, 30-20, 3:56 until halftime. Bad pass. That was Ferdinand. He was looking for Parker, and Parker says, I'm sorry, I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And he'll be back to Norcross. White with the floater. No good. Parker with the rebound.
Dalvin White, just a freshman there. You see him, number 12 in white. Really a talented kid, but this is where Norcross gets you. They have just so much depth. They bring kids off the bench, 5 deep a lot of times, that can all contribute.
I think Hammonds committed the personal foul, and that'll send Miles Parker to the line. 8 points, all in the first quarter. Hasn't scored here in quarter number 2, as Madison only has 5 points this frame. 4 from Joshua Langford, who's on the bench right now. Can't hit the front end, but he gets the rebound. Now here's Meredith Tomlinson with a nice drive by Cole Tomlinson. That's 3 for him.
Good shot fake and a good finish right there at the rim for Tomlinson.
30-22, 3:23 remaining. They get it to Cooks. Back to White, the freshman. Hammonds. Madison from 3. Nope, but a long kick out. Goes back to Ricky. Now to the other corner for Hooks. That's also short. And Troxel with the rebound. Acuff. There's room for Parker. He spun, but the ball spun too far back. Now Hammonds. Let's see if he'll dish. No, he'll dipsy do it and lay it in.
Once again, you're seeing just how good Rayshawn Hammonds can be in transition. A little dipsy-do and the left-handed finish there for him.
He's got 8 points, and it's 32-22 with 2:35 remaining. Will Acuff with it. Norcross with 14 points this quarter, make it 14-7. Tomlinson with a rainbow, that's no good. And a good rebound by White. White dishes to Madison, steps into a 3 from the wing. Drano. Ricky Madison is starting to turn it up. He's got 11. And it's a good timeout for Madison Academy. They have to stop the bleeding somehow. It's a full. We'll take it too. 2:12 remaining in the second quarter. Norcross up 35-22 over Madison Academy here at the reminder, this broadcast brought to you by Crossover Intelligence. It saves coaches hours of time. They can break down and stat your game film for you, giving you searchable clips, advanced stats, and an interactive shot chart. Stop wasting time in the film room and visit www.crossover.com today to get started. That's crossoverwithak.com, one of our proud sponsors of the Hilton Invitational right here on the Sports Utility Vehicles, one of the primary and premier Georgia showcases on the high school schedule. John Morgo, Jonathan Hemingway now sitting in with us as Brandon Clay, 35-22 is your score, 2:09 to go. They immediately field Parker on the left side for a 3-ball, and he drains it.
That's a big three coming right out of the timeout there for Coach Blackson's squad. Getting this thing back down to 10. Norcross had really stretched this thing out with Langford going to the bench with 2 fouls.
35-25. I believe, let's see if we see Langford. He's standing up on the bench right now.
He's over there working. He's over there co-coaching right now. You got to love that energy from the kid.
No good on the shot from Cameron, but getting the rebound is Amir Butcher, and he's able to put it back.
Yeah, Butcher's been big here in this game thus far, coming off the bench. I think he's got, 10 points?
10 points for him.
Yeah, including a couple of three-pointers, but once again, it's a second chance opportunities that are really carrying Norcross at this point.
Almost got the steal there, but Tomlinson's able to pick it back up. Now Tomlinson will drive off the glass. Good.
That's his second finish right there at the rim, going the right on left. Some big points there for Tomlinson.
37-27, 1:09 to go. Cameron feeds Madison, and that's no good for Ricky.
These are some big rebounds here from Madison Academy. You want to make Norcross go one and done. You got to make them, you got to punish them for taking that quick three-pointer.
Yeah, one and done, what I refer to as the Kentucky offense. Will Acuff there. He sees a three. He'll step into it. He'll drop it home.
Yeah, the coach's son right there, knocking it down, cutting this thing under 10 with under a minute to go.
37-30. Galvin White with it. Finds Butcher, almost took a shot. Let's see if Norcross decides to wait. Nope, they don't. That Cameron brings it in. Now that's only 7 for Tim Cameron, 39-30. 20 seconds, Norcross will show full court press. They float it into Parker. Miles is going to drive. No, he dished it at the last second to Troxel. No good, probably should have taken that drive. Now Madison with it. Madison, elbow to get space, airballs it over the rim. Tomlinson.
Oh, nice.
Goes through,
wow.
way up, can't get it. Kind of got stuck at the end. Wants a foul. Did he get the foul?
I saw an official blow the whistle and then put his hand up.
He got fouled on that reverse. They're going to call that. Let's see if they call it before the zeros hit.
Yeah, that's the only issue. Referee is going to go talk to Andy Blackstead about it. He wants some shots. I don't blame him. Trying to make it 7 points. Now Blackson just put his hands to his glasses.
The crowd chanting Andy's name. You gotta love the Norcross student section, fellas.
They are very intelligent. They know exactly what they're talking about. Well, they're not going to get any fouls, so the teams are going to go to the benches, to the locker room. 39-30 is your score. As we hit the break, let's go through some scoring leaders, and Brandon, I want to get your impressions here. I know you were out mingling with other people, and now you're joining us here at the broadcast table, so I want to get your impressions. But first, let's go over the scoring. First up for the Mustangs, Miles Parker with 11 points, Joshua Langford with 9, Will Acuff with 3, Cole Tomlinson with 5, Austin Troxel with 2. And for the Devils, they were paced by Ricky Madison with 11 points, Amir Butcher with 10, Rashawn Hyman's had 8, Tim Cameron with 7, and Jordan Goldwire had 3. So, Brandon, again, you were out talking with other people. What is your impression of what we've had here in the first half between this Madison County Norcross Blue Devil game?
Let me say first and foremost, they actually had the game posted up in the media room on SUV TV. Marcus Burnett and I went up there to do a little quality control check, make sure everything was operating correctly, and it was. So I was able to watch the majority of the first half there in that room, talking to Pepperbrook and DeMatha before their big game. Langford has got to stay out of foul trouble. Point blank. Madison Academy, you look at the score right now, and that could have gone one of two ways. That could have been a 19, or it could be exactly what it is, and they were able to hold it at 9. They held serve, so to speak, with Langford out. When he's in, they have an opportunity to win. Parker's capable of making plays. You have Acuff who can knock down the open jumper. On Norcross's end, they've got to keep Madison, Cameron, those guys dialed in. I thought the 3 Madison hit late in the second half on the left-hand wing. Those are the type of shots that they've got to get him. He's got to continue to make those. They've got to continue to play as a group and find ways to get scores. Whoever can do that, whether it be Madison keeping Langford out of foul trouble or Norcross keeping Cameron, Madison engaged and able to score it, should emerge here as the victor.
All right, 39-30. We've got 8:50 remaining in our halftime presentation. The Norcross step team is out entertaining the crowd here. Again, a big crowd here tonight. we are pretty much packed in this gymnasium. Norcross student always comes out, and we got a lot of other people around here. Pebblebrook is starting to file in their fans. They play next. Joel Hillsman was down here in press row. He was preparing his notes as he will give to you the Pebblebrook High School DeMatha Stags contest. That will be after this one, and then we're going to have one more. Jonesboro High, the Cardinals, taking on the Jaguars of Spain Park. So we're going to step aside for a little bit, let the step team entertain you with their moves, and we'll have the second half in a moment. So keep it where it is here. It's the Sports Utility Vehicle right here, giving you the full coverage of the Hilton Invitational. Let's keep it where it is.
Crossover intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on any shot to watch the corresponding video. Crossover intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the crossover effect.
I think
fullback today. I was like, I literally did that. I'm sitting with Joey. I'm glad Tough Freeman didn't get me all picture out of him looking crazy. But it's that's first class. Him coaching with blacks in the middle, that was awesome. All that being said, though, man, like, it's just good, man. You know what I mean? Like, relative to, like, real life. We really got a chance to do it, Joe. Think about it, this time last year, were you here for this last year? This time last year, I'm sitting there with Alfonso and Son. Marcus was up there somewhere. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I got to be on the right next year. We got to get this guy on the floor. So I texted Marcus on Thursday. I said, we're on the floor, right? I don't want to come there. This don't do me no good, dog. From Alabama yesterday as I was typing that report. I called her right after I said it about fall. Sure enough, Banghart back Banghart went to me 3 times and said, you got to keep Vanderbilt, Northwestern, and both academic school off of her. I'm like, I was thinking to myself, Northwestern, no problem, man. Not so much. But I called Sharika, so I talked to her literally from there back to here. Like, yo, I'm throwing you one. Whatever y'all want to do with it, I'm going to. The best. We got to have with the gifts, you always got to have one of those kids in your pocket, man. You know, it's going to hit everybody you go to.
Watching them in NBC when she was like a 7th grade. Remember that? I remember saying, Brandon, we can watch this kid right here.
Good job. I forgot about that. We'll have to tell that on a story one day. Hey. What you wild, man.
Second half about ready to start. John Morgan, Coach Jonathan Hemingway, Brandon Clay, here courtside at the House of Blue here in Norcross, Georgia. Home of the storied Norcross Blue Devils, state champions in the highest classification, last in 2013. They also got 3 titles from 2006 and 2008, and also put one in on 2011 for good measure. They're up by 9 points, 39-30, as we start the second half, and they're going to inbound from Madison Academy right in front of our broadcast position. They're going to move Miles Parker over a step, so he's right at the half-court stripe.
We got the best seats in the house, man. I put in a special request earlier this week to Marcus Burnett to make sure that we were here with our feet on the hardwood, man. Thanks, Marcus.
Gets it into Acuff, back to Parker, over into the corner for Meredith. Meredith swings it back to Acuff. Acuff with it, picks it up, goes in the middle for Troxel, one-hander good.
Great zone set right there out of the locker room. That's exactly what you would expect out of Coach Andy Blackson's team.
39-32, 4 points for Austin Troxel, 7:33 remaining in quarter number 3 here from the Hilton Invitational. This is game 5 of our 7-game set, and that's no good for Hammonds. Tried to do a little stick back, that's also no good. Ball loose underneath, through Hammonds' hands. Parker comes down with it. Parker leading the break. Let's see if he goes for Lyford. No, he goes in, and they're going to get a block on Delvin White.
I know Madison Academy feels like they're owed that one right there after Langford picked up that second one there in the second quarter, early in the second quarter at that. But a good start right here from Madison Academy. We get 2 free throws to cut into this lead even more.
Parker to the line. He's got 11, leads Madison in scoring, and that one gives him an even dozen.
Well, and I like Troxel, the play that he made on the other end there to contest Hammond's shot, get his hand on that thing. He's a rim protector in that regard, and a guy who's willing to use his size inside of space to take up opportunities for the offensive post players here on the other end in the middle of this zone.
Yeah, Brandon, when you talk about sophomores, 6'8", he's going to be a kid that goes on our radar pretty quickly.
13 points, Baker's dozen for Miles Parker as he makes both ends. 39-34, 7 minutes to go. believe it's 4 points to start off the quarter for Madison. And foul underneath. And let's see who is going to go to the line. The referee is examining the hardwood. It'll go against Troxel. That's one on him.
You could feel the Madison Academy fans just take a big breath like, oh no, this one's on Langford again, but it's not. It's going to go on Troxel.
And see them gathering at the foul blocks, and it will be 2 shots for Ricky Madison. Had 11 points in that half. Led Norcross in scoring. 1 big 3-pointer. He's had 2 foul shots, so he's going to have some more here tonight. Now Gage is going to check in. He will replace Tim Cameron.
Hammonds. Yeah,
Hammonds went out.
Yeah, he's got the blood.
Yeah, so that's why they had to get him out of there after that hard foul by Troxel. Madison's first shot will drop. Gives him 12.
It's amazing the transformation in Ricky Madison's game. I remember watching the club circuit even a couple summers ago, and is he a 3, is he a 4, is he whatever, but he's really shown, like we talked about late in the second half, but then also at the free throw line, that he's becoming a guy that can make an open outside shot. And when you can do that, you can play on the perimeter, whether it means you're a secondary trail 4, whether it means you're a full-time wing, is almost irrespective the way that most teams like to play 4 guys around the perimeter these days.
And he's got the LOI to High Point University, and he made both ends. Nice steal from Tim Cameron. Pushes out ahead to number 12, Delvin White. Layup, good. His first 2 points, and like that, it's back to 9, 43-34.
And what we talked about in the first half, you got to be able to handle the ball versus this Norcross pressure.
Ooh. Langford, what a move through the maze of defenders. He goes in. He's got 11, 43-36.
Well, it's so smooth, too, when he splits that gap, got into the defenders, but never lost body control. A lot of players try to make that move and weave and find gaps, but they lose either control of the body or they lose a sense of where they actually are on the floor. He did neither and was able to convert.
That's Octavius Gage's first 2 points. And they're trading baskets right now, 45-36, 5:55 to go. Let me ask you this. Josh Langford being recruited by a lot of people. In your opinion, who's got the lead for him?
Well, right now, it doesn't seem that, honestly, anybody has the lead for Langford. Obviously, the in-state schools are trying to get involved and definitely would love to keep him there inside of the state. But he has so much interest. You even talk about schools at the top of the air court recruiting pinnacle, like Kentucky now getting involved in his recruitment. And I don't know that he plans on making a decision anytime soon, which is going to favor some of those schools like at Kentucky. We talked about Oklahoma State head coach Travis Ford being here tonight with the Math and Markel Fultz playing next. So in that way, I think Langford's recruitment is still very, very open for different people to get involved or even change their interest over the course of the next 6 months.
All right, it's 15 points for Ricky Madison as he hit that layup underneath, and Madison Academy takes another 30-second timeout with 5:16 remaining here in the third quarter, down by 11, 47-36 here against the Norcross Blue Devils. And let's take a look at one of our replays here, joined by as we take a look
at
the
move there by Langford to split the score all the way to the rim, and the right on left finish for the youngster, Josh Langford.
Crossover sponsoring our instant replay capabilities tonight. Crossover Intelligence for basketball can save coaches hours of time as they will do your film clip work for you, sort it out, and give you stats based on what they see. So go to Crossover Intelligence, that's crossover with a K.com. Out of the timeout, it's Madison basketball with 5:16 to go. 47-36, lead to 11. It was down to 5 a little bit just a few moments ago, but Norcross stretches the lead back. This is Meredith. They'll get to Troxel kicking it out, and they'll dish out to Langford. Langford will start the offense, but then once he dishes it out, he immediately goes into the post position. See if he does the same thing here. They work into the corner for Acuff, hits the side of the backboard, and that leads for a Norcross break.
Well, and remember now at halftime, I talked about Cameron and Madison needing to be productive for Norcross. Madison's got the 2 free throws, he's got the dunk, Cameron's got the steal, and he's led to assist on 2 plays now. Ooh. Langford on the other end.
Yeah, that was Langford off the miss by Troxel. Langford with 13 points. But man, what a play. Cameron with the alley, Madison with the oop. Now long-range jump shot, no good for number 5, Devin Huffman. Foul on the rebound. That'll be the first on Miles Parker. Team second this half. Norcross guilty of 1 personal foul. 4:21 remaining, 49-28 as the Blue Devils prepare to inbound. Now they try it again, and Hammonds couldn't get the dunk to go. And Jim would have erupted if that had worked. Now here's Langford.
Oh, goodness.
He rolls it in, and he'll go to the line for a conversion. That's 3 on Huffman.
He's really good.
Yeah, Langford with 15 points right now. A chance to make it 16.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I can say, but I think I'll just wrap it up by saying he's really good.
Well, his body control once he gets downhill, John, I think for me is the thing that I've been most impressed with.
To the line. Good. 16 points for him. And we still got 4:15 left in the third and all of the fourth.
Well, he reminds me a lot physically, fellas, of Stanley Johnson, who's a freshman at Arizona. Just in terms of his size, still with obviously a couple of years to go before he enters his freshman year. But his body, it matches. A lot of times you see guys stronger in the upper body but a little bit thinner in the lower body, or the reverse, and neither is the case for Langford. He's got the bounce and the ability to get downhill a lot like Johnson did as a younger prospect.
That's Amir Butcher, can't hit the 3. Hammonds can't get the putback. They're tipping it all over the place, and Troxel comes down with it.
Good job there by Troxel controlling that thing. Rebounds are going to be the key to this game for Madison Academy if they're going to want to make this a game in the fourth quarter, and to build upon that comparison, Brandon. And a good drive there. Tomlinson once again showing that he can do some stuff off the dribble. Talking about finishing in transition, here locally, Jalen Brown, from Wheeler, that type of thing. He may not have the exact length that Brown does, but I think there's some comparison there.
Yeah, that's 7 points for Tomlinson. Madison couldn't hit the layup. Thought they might have gotten a goaltend. Anyway, here is
goodness
Langford.
gracious,
Oh, he's
great
stuffed
block.
by Hammonds. What a stuff by Rayshawn Hammonds. Now back the other way, slinging it up, and that's going to be a lack of player control foul on Tim Cameron.
I talked about in the first half, what Rayshawn Hammonds can bring to the floor. We're seeing what he can do on the offensive end, the second shots, the transition stuff. On the defensive end now, guys, he can really be that rim protector that Coach McMillan needs.
Still a lot of basketball to be played. It's a 6-point lead for the Devils. 3 minutes exactly here in the third. Tip to Langford. He'll pull up from the right elbow, and good.
This guy's starting to put on a show right now. It's starting to work. We talked about the foul trouble obviously at the half, and that limiting his production and his minutes both in the first half. But he's starting to get this thing working, and this is the last thing that Norcross and Jesse McMillan need, is for that guy to really get going here in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds, giving him that momentum as we get into the fourth quarter.
They steal it from Amir Butcher, 4 points, but Madison steals it right back. Nice backdoor to Butcher. He turns around. Good.
It's been a productive game for Butcher. I don't think that he was a starter for Coach McMillan.
No, he was not. He wasn't one of the starting 5, but he's got 12 points off the bench.
Yes, he's hit a couple of threes. We've talked about it before, just kind of been in the right spot at the right time, and he's made the most of that for sure.
Timeout by the Devils. I believe it's a 30. 51-45, 2:27 to go here in the third quarter. And attention, fans, download the Ranks, which is the first fan-driven ranking system where your opinion matters. Rate, comment, and petition for your favorite high school basketball players. That is the Ranks. It's available on iPhone and iPad, sponsored by Corkcred, one of our fine sponsors here at Sports Utility Vehicles coverage of the Hilton Invitational. We're back to live action. Troxel inbounds it to Jalen Ferdinand. Back to Tomlinson into the corner. That's where they're going to Langford, and he'll get a foul on Madison.
One thing about this now, fellas, they've been able to do this. Obviously, Langford's been giving them the production, but Parker's been on the bench. So now that you're getting this production with Langford, you're going to have, if everything plays out foul-wise here over the next 2 minutes and 17 seconds, potentially Langford and Parker in the game together for the entire fourth quarter, which is going to be big in terms of having multiple places that you can go for production, along with what Tomlinson and Troxel have been able to give them as well.
He makes 1, makes 2. That's a score, which, score equals 20 points. Classical definition. 51-47. 2:10 remaining. Here in the third quarter, Jordan Goldwire dishes to Butcher from the left side. It rimmed out. And Hammonds is fouled going to the basket, and that's probably going to be the first foul on Cole Tomlinson. First foul on him.
Not a bad foul there by Tomlinson, and he kind of gave Hammonds a high five right afterwards, saying, hey, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you so hard.
There's a stop and pop by Cook. Didn't go. And here's that man Langford with the rebound.
Oh, goodness.
He dished off for Kiki Matthews. It's short. And he comes in and knocks the rebound out of Hammonds' hands.
Yeah, he affects the game in so many areas. Rebounding, blocking shots, defending, now handling as a primary handler. Brandon, certified 5-star prospect in the Brandon Clay Elite 60.
I tell you what, he's making quite an impression. You know what, it's interesting, obviously a little different. You guys will get a look here in the next game at DeMatha 2016 Markel folks who will enter the Brandon Clay Scouting.com rankings in our expansion. But Langford is showing you the type of versatility that Fulks has, but with a frame like Stanley Johnson. He can shoot the three, can shoot the mid-range, can get all the way to the rim. You know, his club coach, Horace Naismith, right here in attendance, sitting right behind us here in the front row, enjoying this production. So a lot going on here tonight, and Langford is a key reason that this game has changed over the last 7 minutes.
It's 53-50. Langford buried a three. He's got 23 points on the night. And Goldwire with the layup, he gives him 5. So 53-50. We're under a minute to go. And it looks like Madison might just want to go for a final shot, work a little clock, or at least make it so Norcross doesn't have much to work with when they finally get it back. But now Langford says, no, I want to take a shot.
Gracious, guys. Oh.
And he missed it.
He was saying that he got hit on the wrist right there. I could believe it because he hadn't missed that badly all night.
Speaking of going through the lane, Cooks. And he kind of flailed like he got hit. Referees don't buy it, and they will still give the Devils the basketball with 30 seconds remaining.
John, our former boss, Don Marsh now, who is blowing the whistle at an extremely high level, ACC, SEC on the women's side, used to always talk about game management as an official. That's a great example of a young man, Langford, who hadn't missed a shot that badly all night. She said, hey, you just blow the whistle just because he missed it. Charge it to somebody and keep playing.
Well, he's only missed 3 shots all night by my count. So that foul on Isaac Tillman, his first, and that's 14 fouls for both squads this half. Now, Hammonds off the stop and pop, no, and then we're going to have the 15th foul against Madison, and Hammonds will go to the line.
Talk about for Hammonds. His versatility out of bounds. Green gets going downhill, and that's where he is best. He's not necessarily one of those back to the basket, post players, but he is a very mobile 4 player, and if you get the ball to him on the move, he can score very well around the rim, and he's going to go to the free throw line with a chance to score 2.
Well, he's got 1, and that gives him 9 on the evening. 54-50 now with a chance to make it double nickels, and he converts on that, so he's in double figures. 26.4 seconds to go, and coming in is number 20, Robert Sims, and Hammonds will sit down for the last 30 seconds of this third quarter, get a little bit of a break. Norcross providing a lot of pressure. It's a baseball pass. They get it to Miles Parker. Blocked from behind by Robert Sims. So they brought in Parker, just like you said, Brandon. Well, it looked like he came in place of Langford, so they're kind of doing what Jesse McMillan's doing for Hammonds, giving him a quick breather at the end of this frame.
I love the execution from Coach Blackson's squad right there. It's obviously a press attack that they've worked on in practice over time, and they were able to get Parker to release out. Unfortunately, he misses the first one here, though.
A little short on that front end. Now he's got 1 more. 13 points on the evening. Second one, that's good. So that gives him 14. Definitely overshadowed by Josh Langford's 23, but he's had a very productive evening on his own, and he'll take a little seat, and Troxel will come back in for him.
Big defensive possession right here for Madison Academy. Big offensive possession here for Norcross going into this fourth quarter.
I believe Norcross will have the opening possession. The arrow's pointing their way on the alternator. So if they can get a basket here, and then they get a basket to start the fourth, make it an 8-9 point lead. Right now they got a score here with 6 seconds as that clock is winding down. Here's Butcher. He's going to drive in. No ditch at the last second. Shot at the buzzer. It's a little too strong by Goldwire, and we're at the break. We got 8 minutes left to play in regulation. Norcross, the Blue Devils, on top of the Madison Academy Mustangs. 55-51, fourth quarter in a moment here on SUV.
All right, folks, we got winning tickets here.
Live at the Hilton Invitational, John Morgo, Coach Jonathan Hemingway, Brandon Clay on the call. 55-51, Norcross on top.
Interesting right now, something to take note of. If you saw Miles Parker went down hard, favoring that right foot there right at the end of the third quarter. They have taken him back to the locker room. One of the assistant coaches went back there to check. He now is back on the bench, and so is Parker. But that's going to be something for us to watch, especially what we talked about, wanting to see him and Langford be able to play together. Might limit Parker's effectiveness here in the fourth quarter. Let's keep an eye on it.
All right, well, there's a stop and pop and no drop from Tim Cameron. Getting the rebound underneath is number 5, Devin Huffman, out of bounds. And it will stay with Norcross.
These stats are not going to be pretty for Madison Academy with all of these offensive rebounds. But with all that being said, they're only trailing 4. Fourth quarter is going to be critical here with the rebounding advantage.
Goldwire missed the three ball. Now here's Tomlinson from the line. Good. Cole Tomlinson with 9 points. Very quiet 9 points, but it's 55-53. 2-point game with 7:23 left in regulation. Now here's Madison, who's had a great night. 17 points, leads Norcross in scoring. Back over to Goldwire. Leaves it for Cameron. To the corner. Work it out to Madison. Leaving it for Cameron through a double team. And he shuffled his feet before he made that drive.
Well, Thomason's buckets have been, as we're going to see Parker check back in now, Thomason's baskets, though, have been timely. You know, maybe it's a quiet 9, but it's been a very effective and timely 9. And in a lot of ways, his performance right now reminds me of Greater Atlanta Christian senior Cam Boyd, in terms of being able to make shots when need be for this offense.
Well, they got what a pass. What a bullet pass to Parker underneath, camped out underneath, and we're tied. 55 all, 16 points for Miles Parker. I don't think his foot's bothering him, or else he's gutting it out. Gut check time. Here's Goldwire. 6:39 on the clock in a tie ball game.
Hey, please believe he didn't come over here from Huntsville, Alabama, Madison, Alabama to be sitting. He came in here to be in this game. Same thing for Mr. Langford with that pass.
Huffman leaves it out for Hammonds. Nice dish underneath. Ball is stolen. They were going to Cameron. Here's Langford. He'll drive it in that other side. They got number 25, Will Acuff. He's got 5, and it's Madison back out in front, 57-55. Cameron with it. Gets a Hammonds, who goes up and is fouled.
I love on the way back down the court, Langford dishes it off to Acuff, and they both point at one another. You know, that's just a simple thing right there, but it really it shows you just, you know, how close these guys are. You know, Brandon, you mentioned Langford being on the bench and coaching, you know, even while he was in foul trouble. It's really like how they really blew mates.
This is the
in the second half. And I was
trying from Langford. A little too strong. The back dribble. He could have realized that with that pass.
It looked like a dribbling drill from our elite basketball academy dribbling drill from Christian Simmons. What Langford just did. Now we're looking at a replay there from Langford making the nice left-handed pass into the lane. Langford got it all on display here. The ball handling, the passing, the shooting ability. What a great night for him personally.
He is putting on a show here tonight for all the college coaches in attendance, for everybody else in attendance. But it's not enough so far. His team down by 1, but it's anybody's ball game. 5:25 remaining, especially now that Madison Academy has the basketball. He's not in foul trouble anymore. He's been able to hold steady with those 2 fouls, so he'll be playing lights out 100% remainder of this contest. Now here's Tomlinson.
That customary, we believe that we will win champ in the Norcross student section. And the place goes nuts, man.
Tomlinson and Meredith are playing keep away on that far side as we look at them. That's Meredith. He drains it. His first basket of the night. And a big one gives Madison a 2-point lead, 60-58 with 4:45 remaining. Huffman feeds Hammonds, switch. 13 for Rayshawn Hammonds. And we're knotted at 60. We're going to have an exciting finish here at the House of Blue. Glad you're with us here on the Sports Utility Vehicle, the SUV.TV.
1-3-1 defense here out of Norcross.
Air ball from Tomlinson.
Madison Academy going a little 2-1-2 right there. Worked out the previous possession. That time it didn't work out as well. 60-60. What a great game here. Heading into the last 4 minutes.
4:15 remaining. We're all knotted. Madison will draw a blocking foul on Tomlinson. That's 3 on Cole Tomlinson. No, I'm sorry, 2 on Tomlinson. And going to the line will be Ricky Madison. Madison, 17 points on the night. I have him as perfect 4-4 from the line. And let's see if he keeps it up or the announcer's curse kicks in. First shot is up and no good. The announcer's curse kicked in. 60-60 still, and it's Madison possession.
It's always interesting how that goes, man. You tell somebody how well they're doing, and immediately they're going to miss it. They can't even hear us unless he's getting it piped in his ear, man.
Bullet pass to Miles Parker through his hands.
Right idea, not the right execution right there. Just a little too tall on that pass. The weakness of a 1-3-1 is always that diagonal pass, but Norcross is so long, they force you to throw it at a little higher trajectory, and that time threw it right out of bounds.
3:54 to go, still tied. Norcross taking a little air out of the basketball right now, just dribbling in the backcourt. Now they go to Madison. Madison's going to drive, puts the shoulder down, and they'll get a blocking foul.
Madison has really been the guy that Norcross has looked to here to make things happen in this second half especially. You mentioned the numbers that he's put up. Hammonds has been very consistent, and there's been a number of different guys that have come through, off of the bench. But when it's come time to put numbers on the board, it's been Madison here in this second half.
Looking for his 20th point of the night, and he can't hit it. But coming out of nowhere is Gage for the rebound. That's good. And that's a 4-point play there for the Blue Devils. 64-60, 3:35 to go. And that is very tough for an opposing coach. If you're expecting to get 3 points, then you get 4. The only good thing is he didn't get a foul for a chance for a 5-point play. Now here's that man Langford. Go to Acuff from Jonathan Hemingway's old high school. No good. And there's a scrum for the loose ball. Langford goes down hard. He'll get a foul on Gage, I believe. That's 2 on Octavius Gage, 64-60.
What's been interesting, aside from that first 3-pointer that Madison Academy hit once Norcross went to this 1-3-1, since then the possessions have been empty for Madison Academy.
Long inbound pass to Tomlinson. He leaves it for Langford. Langford will do that. Underneath, good. From field goal, 64 3 minutes.
Made that shot a little errant.
Butcher dances on the rim, falls away. Back to Madison, down by 4. Langford slips as he delivers the pass, goes into the corner, airballed it. That was Acuff. Now wrong outlet, Hammonds dishes for Gage, slam! 6 points for Octavius Gage, and Madison's going to have to take a timeout, a full one, with 2:32 remaining, 66-60.
Talk about production off of the bench, and I think this is, you talk about Madison and Hammonds, the star guys, but it's been the bench production that has been the difference here for Norcross. Gage coming in, being very productive, 2 buckets here in the past couple of minutes.
Yep, Octavius Gage with 6 points, 6-point Norcross lead, and again, the Devils have gone on a little bit of a run, I believe a 9-0 run if I'm not mistaken.
And you see a picture of Gage there rushing the crossover instant replay as evidence of that run that you're talking about.
Yeah, all our instant replays courtesy Crossover with a K. Want to thank them for their fine support here at the Sports Utility Vehicle on this wall-to-wall coverage of the Hilton Invitational, a septuple header. I knew I would figure out what 7 was in terms of that. I believe it's septuple. And we've got another good one coming up. Pebblebrook High School against DeMatha High. Joel Hilsman will settle into the broadcast seat for that call. But we got a good one here. 2:32 remaining, 6 points. Norcross on advantage, 66-60. And Madison definitely needs a score here, so they give it to their all-pro player, Joshua Langford. Langford, he'll take it himself from long range. It was going to the left side. Another good rebound from Hammonds. He almost throws it away. Good job by number 12 to get there. And it gets his man in the air. Let's see if that basket will count. Or not, it's a floor foul.
I think they're going to call it on the floor.
Yep, they're going to call it on the floor.
Basket is good by Gage.
Oh.
Was he? I think it was Gage. They're going to give the basket to Gage. I didn't think Gage. I thought it was Hammonds, but Gage to the line. That's 4 on Tomlinson. Gage with 8 points, trying to make it 9, and he does. All this half for Octavius Gage, 67-60.
Talk about senior leadership right here. Gage coming off of the bench. Give Coach McMillan a lot of quality minutes and some very important points.
You're right, they did not count that basket. So they gave him Gage 2 points on a separate incident. That's why Hammonds didn't go to the line for that conversion, even though he hit the shot. 68-60 now, 2:10 to go. Gage with 8 points. Acuff with it. On the right wing, gets it over to Langford, back to Acuff. Langford been silent the last few moments. They need to get into his hands. Down by 8, under 2 to go.
Norcross made a good switch into a zone. They were playing man, which was allowing Langford to get up and down in transition. The zone, the diagonal, obviously, that you talked about, Jonathan, but also leaves a lot of room for shooters to make shots. And unfortunately for Madison, some of the shots that they've been hitting, whether it's Acuff, whether it's Langford, those three-pointers aren't falling. 1 or 2 of those, this is a different game. But for the time being, they have not been able to convert the long-range shot that the 1-3-1 zone gives.
Well, and very interestingly, Langford had a lot of success in the first half of flashing to that high post area. Coach McMillan, give him a lot of credit, made the adjustment to say, all right, we're going to go out of the 3-2 zone. We're going to go to a 1-3-1 to where there's no space in there for Langford to settle in. And now they've really covered him up down along the baseline. And as you can see, that adjustment really the reason why this has gone from a 60-60 ball game to now a 68-60 game.
Yeah, Norcross on a big run as the Blue Devils call timeout with 1:32 to go. And guys, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you in our last game. Pebblebrook High, DeMatha High, who are you guys looking at?
Well, there's a lot to look at. I'm looking at the guard play, quite honestly. I'm looking at Jared Harper in the backcourt, and I'm also looking for DJ Harvey in the backcourt as well for DeMatha. You know, that matchup's going to be great. 2 guys that can really score the ball anywhere on the court.
I like Ty Hudson as well in the backcourt for Pebblebrook, the Clemson signee. I think you also want to look at Terrell Allen and Markel Fultz from DeMatha. So 3 names from DeMatha, a couple from Pebblebrook, but please believe they're going to be about 15 to 20 guys capable of making a play at any point in time. Very similar to what Gage has given Norcross. Not necessarily a guy you talk about in the opening of the game, but he's definitely a guy we're talking about here in the close.
Well, he's on the bench right now. They'll put Hammonds in as Norcross gets the inbound play. They feed to Cameron, who's been silent this half. That's his first basket. He's got 9, and it's a 10-point lead, 70-60. This game getting away from the Mustangs of Madison Academy. 1:15 to go. They're going to have to start moving. This is Jalen Ferdinand. Launches it over to Kiki Matthews. Into the corner for Langford. He pulls good. Trainer, they're going to see to that hamstring. Hopefully that's nothing serious, as they're going to need him down the stretch in the region and in the region playoffs, which are actually going to start in just over 2 weeks. I believe this Valentine's Day weekend is when all the region championships will be held here in Georgia. Now we're under a minute, 40 seconds. And a good steal by Madison, and that's probably just going to do it here, as Madison Academy not going to foul immediately. Now there's Butcher, no good, gets his own rebound, that is good. And Butcher with 14 points. It's a 12-point game, 72-60. And now they're going to seed the lane to Langford. They won't make it too easy on him. He'll go to the line.
It might be a losing performance here, but Josh Langford has won over the fans in the Metro Atlanta area with his play, slashing ability to shoot it. I know he's got a fan here in Jonathan Hemingway.
No doubt. And I tell you what, Madison Academy entered this game 10-10 on the year. They might be one of the better 10-10 teams in all of the country. Speaking with Coach Blackson before the game, he told me that, you know, it's their goal to play a very high-profile schedule. You know, even if that means that they're playing a team in Norcross that might have more talent. But he says when it comes conference play and when it comes state tournament time, that's going to put them over the edge as really one of the favorites in their class in the state of Alabama.
25 points for Joshua Langford after that 2 points. Now it's going to be Jalen Ferdinand with his second foul. 72-62, so we have reached the automatic fouling portion of today's broadcast. But it might be just a little too late. And I believe, let's see who's going to go to the line. They're going to wait. It's probably going to be number 23, Jordan Goldwire. He's going to make his way to the stripe, take some shots. So Jordan Goldwire, right now I have him with 7 points. And he will stay at 7 at that one, but he's got a chance to make it 8. 72-62. Remember, we were tied at 60 a little earlier, and it was 58-57 Norcross at the 5:25 mark before we did get knotted at 60. And since then, it's been all Devils. So you want to call it a 14-5 run to get this 10-point lead. Missed both of them, but they get the ball back, and they're going to dribble out this game. So let's see. Well, here comes. That's what Madison Cameron gets for for not dribbling it out. Now Langford going to try some extra points, and he stops and puts that in. So he will technically have 27 points, and your final score, Norcross wins this one 72-64 over the Madison Academy Mustangs. All right, Joshua Langford, 27 points, easy choice for the star of the game for Madison Academy. Norcross led by Ricky Madison, he had 19. Amir Butcher had 14. Rayshawn Hammonds had 13. Miles Parker for Madison chipped in 16. So for Brandon Clay, Coach Jonathan Hemingway, I'm John Morgo. Thank you for joining us. I now hand the baton back to Joel Hilsman, and he'll have Pebblebrook High and Namath High, so keep it where it is. It's the Sports Utility Vehicles coverage of the Hilton Invitational. Game 6 coming up in about 15 minutes, so stay tuned here on SUV.TV. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.